Hey guys, what's up? It's me XPC and welcome to my review of Marvel Spider-Man Episode 8, Stark Expo. In this episode, we get to see Spider-Man team up with Iron Man against a common foe known as the Ghost, who attempts to sabotage the Stark Expo. How far will Spider-Man go to stop this foe? Let's find out right here. So the episode opens with Spider-Man swinging through New York back in his old red and blue costume now that he's gotten rid of the V-252 in the last episode. He makes his way to the Stark Expo where his Uncle Ben took him to when he was just a little kid. When he makes it there, he sees the Ghost trying to sneak inside. Spider-Man attempts to punch him when Ghost runs through him, disabling his web shooters in the process. Then Iron Man detects an intruder who he thought was Spider-Man and then he proceeds to fight him. Now Peter is a huge fan of Iron Man, so he doesn't really try to fight him all that seriously. Iron Man then realizes that he's just fighting a kid. With that distraction, Spider-Man then manages to get away. I noticed that the Iron Man suit has some more shading onto it. Thank God, it makes the suit look really good. But then again, the suit has shading and all the other characters have literally no shading at all, so it makes them look really bland. Anyways, after Peter gets into his street clothes, he manages to get inside the Stark Expo and he manages to run into the Flash, where he made a volcano experiment for the Expo. Yeah, good luck with that, man. While that is happening, Harry is about to showcase his brand new glider when his father, Norman Osborn, decides to not showcase it at the Stark Expo. He thinks that Horizon High might get Spider-Man to steal it because apparently they think that Spider-Man works for Horizon High. Yeah, I know. Anyways, after that conversation, Peter then sees Max Modell deciding to ignore his warning about that V-252 and he's trying to stabilize it. After he finally manages to stabilize the symbiote, Tony Stark walks in to greet his old friend Max and meets Peter Parker for the first time. Well, sort of for the first time. After that, the Stark Expo officially starts and Tony reveals his brand new Iron Man suit, the Mark 50, to the audience. But then, Ghost manages to sabotage the presentation, and he gets control of the Mark 50 armor. This results in Iron Man versus Iron Man. During their fight, Spider-Man manages to intervene and we have ourselves a battle royale. Iron Man versus Ghost versus Spider-Man. Well, that doesn't last for long since Iron Man now realizes that Ghost was the intruder all along and it was not Spider-Man. Iron Man and Spider-Man then team up to take out the Mark 52, and then victory is almost at hand. But Ghost manages to acquire the means to take control of every piece of technology on the Stark Expo, including the Vulture suits and Doc Ock's arms. Again, I don't approve of Otto being a kid, but whatever. Ghost also manages to mess with Spider-Man's high-tech lens and his web shooters. He even takes control of the armor that Tony is wearing and attacks Spider-Man by doing a solar flare. Yes, you heard that correctly, a solar flare from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, he actually did that. Spider-Man then rips the lens out from his suit and manages to get the advantage on Ghost, but only for a short time. Miles Morales then realizes that he can unplug all of the pieces of technology so Ghost can't control any of them. Iron Man, now realizing this, ejects from his armor, which was a very bad idea because Ghost then takes control of Tony's arc reactor, which is attached to his heart, and that's what's keeping him alive all this time. Now Spider-Man, with no other option, decides to use the V-252 and puts on the black suit once again. Now bonded with the symbiote again, Spider-Man manages to wipe the floor with Ghost, since the suit is all organic and not tech-based. Ghost then uses the Vulture suit's sonic cry to hurt Spider-Man, but that only pisses off the symbiote even more. Spider-Man then destroys the Vulture suits and puts the absolute whooping on Ghost. Luckily, Tony and Max tell Spider-Man to stop and calm down. Then Iron Man and Flash, of all people, try to get the suit off of Spider-Man. The symbiote then tries to go for Flash. Now, I was hoping that Agent Venom might happen in this scene, but my hopes were gone when Iron Man manages to push Flash away from the symbiote. Doc Ock then manages to disable the symbiote and put it back in its jar. Now, after that whole fight, something that I thought was completely random and unnecessary was that Max talks to Otto after the fight and decides to cut his funding on his robotic arms project. I didn't see the point of doing that. If that whole thing was done to set up a motive for Otto to become a villain, then it was not well done at all. Max then apologizes to Peter for not listening to him at all, and Flash manages to win the Stark Expo because of his volcano project, since it was not made out of technology at all, so it was the only thing standing after the whole ghost incident. Tony then takes the V-52, the symbiote, to the Avengers compound, and Otto gets an invitation by none other than Norman Osborn to attend the Osborn Academy. I see you, Norman, I see you. Peter then gets an autograph from Iron Man, and we get to believe that Iron Man may know that Peter or Paul, based on the autograph, knows that he is Spider-Man. And that's the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say that I loved this team-up episode. I love team-up episodes in general, especially ones with, other Avengers like Iron Man in this episode, and we're soon going to be teaming up with Hulk in another episode. It makes the fights a lot more better and more like epic in scale because you're having two heroes fighting against a common threat. Now, I also loved seeing the black suit once again because I just love this black suit. I love the design for it. It's amazing. And I hope to see more Avengers team-ups with Spider-Man in the future. But until then, I'll give this episode a very first 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this episode, definitely like the video, share, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe. I will see you all next time on the next review of Marvel Spider-Man. Peace out, and game on.